Well, we got another Trailblazer video today. You know, when I started this channel, I had bought this Firebird and I was restoring it, and I thought that'd be cool to kind of document that. And that's kind of how we kicked this off. And I was doing this garage modification. And then we bought this Trailblazer for my daughter. And I think I have more videos on this Trailblazer than anything else because I've had to do so many repairs on it. Just, you know, it's an old car. And when you have old cars, you got all kinds of little small odds and ends to fix. In this case, the thing to fix is the headlights. We got a driver's side headlight out. When you look in here, at first it's gonna look really complicated. You're gonna wonder how you're gonna get to them, but it's actually not that hard, and you can do it with really just a screwdriver and maybe a pair of pliers, but I think we can even get away with not having the pliers, but it does make it a little easier. You wanna get yourself a rag or a paper towel or something. We're gonna pull some plastic off, and the screwdriver will kind of break or scratch the plastic, so wrapping it in a paper towel keeps things a little bit nicer. I also have this kit here. Well, not everybody does. This is a trim kit. I think I got it at either Amazon or Harbor Freight. Not that expensive, pretty good. I'll put a link down below in case you want one. But you don't need it, just kind of handy to have. But if you don't have one, you can still do this. I'll show you how. Okay, so there's different ways you can get, you know, kind of snake your arm in here, particularly if you've got small hands and small arms. You can get in there. I got these giant meat hooks, so that's not gonna work for me. I found the easiest thing is to take the headlight enclosures all the way out. And in order to do that, you gotta take this grill off because this piece here covers around the front. It just held on with a few clips. They just push in and clip in, so you just pry them out and it pops loose pretty easily. And then we'll get the headlights removed with a couple of clips on those. So these are the bulbs. You're gonna need these, 9006. This is the low beam bulb for the Trailblazer. It's for a number of GM vehicles, not just the Trailblazer, but it's pretty common. But the manual doesn't really tell you, at least ours didn't. But if you go on to the website, like the regular parts store you go to, if you go onto their website or to you know, go in the store, there's a book. And just thumb through, find your make and model, the year, and it'll tell you which one to buy. It was pretty simple. If not, the guy at the counter can help you. You can get them anywhere. You can get these bulbs at Walmart and, you know, regular department stores. Target sometimes even has them, so they're pretty common. So it's not too hard to find, or you can buy them online on Amazon. In fact, if I find them, I'll throw a link to that too. So there's 4 clips across the top. There's 2 on the bottom, one on this side, one on this side. There's 2 on each side in the headlight plastic itself where it clips in. We're gonna start by pulling the middle out. So here you can just you don't have to worry so much about keeping it pristine, but you just pop these little clips out. Sometimes you can even do them by hand. So this is not the first time I've had this grill off, so it actually comes off pretty easy, but there's another clip on this side. You usually just grab it with your hand and pop loose here. And in fact, I think some of these clips are actually broken on mine, so that makes it even easier yet. Yeah, I like that one. I think it's broken. So that comes out nice and easy. So then take your screwdriver. You don't have to get crazy. Just gonna wrap it up in your paper or towel here. Just pry back here. There we go. So be careful not to snap these things. And then you also want to be careful it doesn't fall on you and break. So the same thing, there's one on this side. There's actually 2 on this side, but again, one of these is already broken off. There we go. Be careful taking these off because sometimes pieces just stay behind. All right, so once you get that off, there's a couple of clips. There's one right here. You can sometimes pull it by hand, but if not, you pry it up with a screwdriver. It's an old one, so sometimes these can get a little bit stiff. There we go. And then there's another one way back in here. Let me see if I can get you in there and show you. It's right there. It's kind of hard to see. There's not really enough light in there, but you'll see it if you kind of just peek your head in here. It's not hard to find. Again, mine are pretty rusty, so they're kind of bound up a little bit. This is where having something a little more prying would work better, but we're gonna try with a screwdriver. Okay, that's loose. So this should just pull out. Now there's a clip right here, a wiring clip. This is where the pliers come in. And just kind of squeeze that clip, push it through, and then it'll give you a little more slack in that wire. To get this out and around. So you're going to take this clip off at the bottom. This gives you some wiggle room. Just to angle it out. You don't take it all the way out. So the low beams are the outside lights. So pop that outside cover off. See in here, there's another wiring harness. Just pop the wiring harness off. We'll reuse that later. Just kind of bend it around so it keeps it from falling back in there and losing it. You just rotate that and pop it out. Now, the passenger side's okay. I'll show you the bulb. I'll show you when we get to the driver's side. I'll show you kind of how you tell that's bad, other than, well, it doesn't work. But you might be thinking to yourself, why the gloves? You don't want to touch these things with your hands. It's fine, it won't hurt you, but if you leave oil on the lenses, they get really, really, really super hot, and they'll fail kind of prematurely. Even with gloves on, like if you touched your face or something else, but it just helps a little bit. But so try not to touch the glass if you can help it. Just stick it back in there. Rotate it back clockwise till it locks in. And then plug the harness back in. One down there, that powers the whole thing. Feed some wires down the bottom and feed back in. These old nubs here, and there's a tube on the other side, and there's holes you can kind of line up with those. These are the nubs that clip for her will lock into. Oh yeah, fix your wire back here that we disconnected. Put that back in. Feed our headlight back in, and then pop those clips back down. Maybe better while I got this open, if yours are dirty like mine are, throw a little lubricant on them. A little liquid wrench or WD-40 or something. That'll help them move a little better. Now you might also be asking, why do the passenger side if the driver's side was the only one that was bad? Pop that clip. Well, they were probably put in about the same time, and if one goes bad, usually the other one's not far behind. So whenever I do one, I always do the other one. So when you buy them in pairs anyway, so you might as well. Again, pop that outside one off. Pop this wiring harness at the bottom off so we can get a little slack. So it's kind of hard to see it on camera. Well, you can't really see very well, but the coil, the little element in here is broken. So that's obviously it's bad. It's also see it's kind of clouded up here where it blew. I mean, the telltale sign it's not working is you turn the headlights on and it doesn't come on. That seems fairly obvious, of course. Stick it back in, turn it back clockwise so it locks in. Put it back on. Put the wiring harness back in. This one was loose enough I didn't have to pull that wire, so I don't have to put it back. And just lock your post back down. All right, that's it. All the screwdriver. Now we'll put it back together. Oops. All right, good driver, we got passenger. we're good to go. Now put our grill back on. And the same in reverse, just line up your tabs. I start with the top ones because they're easy. I kind of get everything else lined up. Okay, we're done. This is why I do them all at the same time. These are the two old bulbs. One's gray, one's black. At some point, somebody replaced one bulb, probably the passenger side, and didn't do the driver's side, and then eventually the driver's side blew. Just do them both, right? And then you got the whole life expectancy of the bulbs across the board. That's it, pretty simple. Like I always say, I hope this gives you a little confidence. When you look at these things, they look kind of daunting and difficult, and I don't know what to do. They're really not that hard. Do a little research, a little elbow grease, and you too can do this. So anyway, thanks for watching. Good luck with your project, and we'll see you next time.